Today we are reading chapter 34 and 35 today. Over the weekend, we might have lost a little bit of information about what we read last time. So, on Friday we read that Charles and Haley and Andrew are on a team and they're trying to locate the last few clues that are missing in their pictogram, and they decided to split up to look for these last four remaining books. Okay, so chapter 34. Veering left the instant she reached the second floor, Haley made her way towards the 400s room. She figured that Charles and Andrew had probably missed something important in the foreign languages room because they'd spent too much time talking to these awesome mannequins. That told them all about their American heritage. As she rounded the bend, Haley saw Kyle Keeley and his crew tumble out of the 200s room. It looked like Miguel was carrying a Bible, but a Bible wasn't one of the books on the display case pics. We're following separate paths to the same goal, Haley thought, and somewhere those two paths are going to cross. Haley slid her card key down the reader slot in the 400s room. The door clicked open and she pushed it open. The room was dimly lit. Benvenida, benview, welcome, boomed a voice from the ceiling speakers. Sorry, said Haley blindly, feeling her way forward and bumping into something hard and lumpy. This is the 400s room, home of the foreign languages. Here, Haley, you can learn all about your American heritage. A bank of spotlights thumped on. Haley was basically hugging a department store mannequin. An overhead projector beamed a movie onto the dummy to her left, turning into a perky woman who looked like Haley would probably look in a couple of years after she'd graduate college. Hello, Haley. Welcome to your American heritage. Let's begin your voyage. That's okay, I don't really have time right now. I'm Haley Daly, my ancestors were Irish, okay? So can we skip the history lesson? And suddenly, the two mannequins at the far end of the row turned into a sepia-toned version of her great-great-great-grandmother and great-great-great-grandfather. Haley knew it was them because her dad had a bunch of old photos hanging in their family room. These two dummies looked exactly like Patrick and Una Daly did in their wedding portrait. No man ever wore a scarf as warm as his daughter's arm around his neck, said Patrick in his thick Irish brogue. Your is proud of you, Haley. Thanks, but I really need to win this competition. Watch out for sneaky rascals, said Una. Them that would steal the sugar out of your punch. Haley had to smile. It sounded like her ancestor had met Charles Chitlington. And always remember, Haley, said her great-great-great-grandfather, every woman's mind is her kingdom. Rule it wisely, lassie. I'm trying. This library can help, said her great-great-great-grandfather or grandmother, with a wink. And when she did, a secret panel wall slid open. What's going on? Said Haley. You're our third visitor, boomed the jolly announcer in the ceiling. So? According to the American Heritage Dictionary of Idioms, available in our reference department, by the way, the third is the charm. Therefore, as our third visitor, you have won this charming bonus. 2 bonuses in one day? She was right. Mr. Lemoncello definitely wanted Haley to win this game, because clearly he knew she'd become the perfect, best-looking spokesperson for his holiday commercials. Don't worry, sir, Haley said to the nearest TV camera. I won't let you down. She hurried through the open wall panel into the 300s room on the other side. Ta-da! The first thing she saw was one of the books they'd been searching for all day long. True Crime Ohio, the Buckeye State's most notorious brigades, burglars, and bandits by Claire Taylor Winters. She quickly opened the cover to find a hidden 4x4 card. It took her 2 seconds to decipher the clue. Bandits. Haley remembered another bit of Irish wisdom. Something her dad always told her all the time. Never bolt your door with a boiled carrot. She decided to keep this new clue a secret and keep it secure. She wouldn't share it with Charles or Andrew. Haley took off the left sneaker, folded the card in half, and slid the clue into her shoe for safekeeping. When her sneaker was laced up tight again, she took the True Crimes Ohio book off its display and tucked it into the bookshelf, making sure it was in a proper position, right between 364.1091 and 364.1093. That way she'd know where to find it if, for whatever reason, she needed it again. Haley looked up at the nearest camera and flashed her brightest toothpaste commercial smile. Go Limoncello! That's a cheer I just made up. We can use it in one of your commercials after I win. Chapter 35. Entrance to Community Meeting Room B will only be granted to Kyle Keeley, Sierra Russell, Akimi Hughes, and Miguel Ferdinands, said the soothing female voice in the ceiling after the 4 teammates had swiped their cards through the meeting room's door reader slot. Organize all the materials on the walls. Draw it like a chart like the FBI does on TV shows when they're trying to tail the mob. Stole the meeting room idea from me. Hey, Keeley? Charles Chitlington was standing in the doorway of meeting room A on the far side of the rotunda. No, said Kyle. We just needed somewhere to throw our victory party after we win. Not gonna happen, said Charles smugly. Must I remind you, I'm a Chitlington. We never lose. And he disappeared into meeting room A. After Charles was gone, Kyle led his team into meeting room B. Miguel posted the blank blueprints he had found up on the walls, while Sierra set the Bibliomania game board on the conference table. I'm glad this room won't let anybody else in, said Kyle. And by anybody, you mean Charles Chitlington, don't you? said Akimi. Totally. Akimi grabbed a marker and wrote a neat outline on the dry erase walls. Clues so far. Definite clues. From the hundreds room, get to know your local library book. From the arts and artifacts room, Willy Wonka candy. Rhymes with Andy. Find the glass elevator? ? From the 200s room, thou shall not steal. Probably clues. Books/authors on the backs of cards. And then we have that list again. Maybe clues? ? Statues ringed around the dome. Thomas Wolfe, Booker Washington, Stephen Sondheim, George Orwell, Lewis Carroll, Dr. Seuss, Maya Angelou, Shel Silverstein, Bosch, Todd Stresser. Wow, said Akimi, stepping back to study the wall. What an incredible mess. Yeah, said Kyle. Okay, guys, there are 8 more book rooms to explore, and who knows how many more wild cards. Whose turn is it? Yours, said Sierra. Kyle flicked the spinner. Green. The 500s. Science. He pulled the first green card from the deck. 4 and 20 were once in pi. 598.367 might tell you why. Blackbirds, said Miguel. I guess. Well, sighed Akimi, let's go check another book. There's still like an inch or 2 left on our whiteboard. The 500s room was like a miniature museum of natural history. In addition to towering walls of books, there was a whole planetarium of stars and constellations projected on the ceiling. Models of plants whirled their way around their orbit. Sparkle-tailed comets shot around the corners of the bookshelves. Kyle and his teammates made their way back to the 590s, zoology. Shelving units were arranged in a square around the open area, maybe 20 feet by 20 feet wide. When the team entered the empty space, the lights dimmed and a guy with long wavy hair looked like an artistic Daniel Boone faded into view. He was wearing some sort of bear fur coat and toting a musket. Bonjour, said the hologram. It's John Adams, said Sierra, the famous ornithologist. He gives people braces, said Kyle. No, said Sierra with a laugh. He studied and painted birds. A black bird with a yellow beak flew into the open area and roosted on a tree. The bird and the tree were both holograms too. This beautiful blackbird from Alexandriaville, Ohio, said the semi-transparent James image, can mimic the sound or song that it has heard. Wow, said Akimi, that looks exactly like a police siren, or that sounds exactly like a police siren. Yo, said Miguel, freaky. To learn more, said James, be sure to read Bird Songs, Warbles, and Whistles, written by Dr. Deanna Victoria Garcia, with classic illustrations by Moa. With that, James sat down on a camp stool. An easel appeared, and the blackbird struck a pose, and the outdoorsy artist began to paint, while humming Blackbirds by the Beatles. Okay, said Kyle, this is the strangest clue yet. Well, here's the book at least, said Sierra, who had found 598.367 on the shelf. So what do blackbirds, wails, and warbles have to do with finding our way out of the library, said Akemi. Just then, they heard a very different sound. Behind one of the bookcases, something growled, then roared. Did you guys hear that, said Sierra. Yeah, said Akemi. I don't think it's a robin. A very rare white Bengal tiger with icy blue eyeballs crept out from behind the wall of bookshelves and stalked into the open area where James sat painting his portrait. Is that another hologram? Said Miguel. Roar! No one stuck around to find out. All right, so we're left off with a little bit of a mystery about what is going on. So join me tomorrow as we continue reading chapter 36 and 37. Bye.